back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one. The media is back at it again. LeBron James, obviously, and I say obviously, and nothing is new here, hurt himself in the elimination game. Game 5, and this guy always gets hurt after he gets eliminated. He either came into the series dealing with some type of foot injury, some kind of nagging hand injury, some elbow injury, all these crazy injuries, or it'll happen during the playoff series. It always happens, folks. And they're trying to say in this game 5, he had a grade 2 sprained MCL, which that's a partial tear, folks. And he got the injury, and then they put him back in the game so he could do what? Break it up and lose it for the Lakers. So LeBron James plays with an injury, and Luka is overweight. On Get Up this morning, they continued to baptize Luka Doncic. I mean, baptize this guy. If he ain't seeing Jesus by now, he must be working with the devil, because they are baptizing this guy. Could you imagine? You know what's so crazy about this? This is supposed to be the transition period where, Luka is supposed to be taking over. This is the reason why they got Luka, because it's supposed to be a transition period to where LeBron James is supposed to be retiring. What else do the Lakers want, right? They got Luka, and basically in the same year, right? Basically, they got Luka, they got Bronny James. What else do they want for their future? And when I say Bronny James, we're not speaking of Bronny James, the great Bronny James, nothing like that. But I've already told you what Bronny James will bring. He will bring the next circus. I've been saying this for a long time. A long time. We got to face what's in front of us, what we've been seeing. This NBA has nothing to do with winning no more, okay? Because this NBA can't bring us no on-court greatness. And look, I had a sub. Maybe he's a sub. I'm not for sure. But he said, I'm just in this era to talk good about my era. And it's not that. Remember, the 80s and 90s never talked bad about the 70s and 60s. And the 2000s never talked bad about the 90s. It wasn't until, and they really wasn't doing this until like 2016, when Nick Wright came aboard. He was going to start this whole thing. And, it pretty much got out of control when LeBron James got blew out in his 6 finals, right? 6 finals blowout losses. This is what LeBron James accumulated on his record. Speaking of accumulations, you never seen a game 7. They were all blowout losses. And don't tell me, oh, well, this team with the game 6, and we don't consider that a blowout in the finals. No, folks. Each one of those finals were blowouts. They either got blown out in game 5, or in game 4. Or in game 6, in the fourth quarter, it was already over. And LeBron James was just stat padding in the fourth quarter. So that's why we call it 6 finals blowout losses, not to mention the 2 sweeps and the gentleman sweeps. So in the 4 twos that he lost, they were blowouts in the fourth quarter. Okay? So let's see here. Back to this nonsense. So it's supposed to be a transitioning period with Bronny and Luka, whatever like that. And when I say Bronny, this sounds like the most ridiculous thing you ever heard of. But Bronny will be the next NBA clown. Nobody wants to take that. These other guys, remember, this is the league is so international, it's crazy. When we talk about international, we're just not talking about white Europeans. We're talking about black international players. These are the majority of the black players in the NBA today. Are international black players. In international players in general. But, we would think that, I don't know, man. I would say at least 80% are international players in the NBA, whether they're black or they're white. Okay, or they're Spanish, whatever. And, the college basketball is like that too. So it's a lot of international players in college, right? So, I have something about that, but it's not really important right now. I really don't want to get into it because people's going to think I'm talking about other people in a bad way. But you know how it is. When you see stuff for what it is, nothing is about race. Nothing is about, sexism. Nothing is about a lot of this stuff that the government promotes us to believe in in certain ways. Yes, it can be about that. It can be about race. It can be about, uh, all kind of different things. But it has to be about that. Just because you point out the obvious that you're seeing, or you've been seeing, this is what it is now. That doesn't mean it's hate, or is, sexism or racism, or, you hate on somebody's culture or something like that. And this is why the world is where it is right now. We're in denial about reality. Now, in reality, it's gone so far to where we can't even fix it. We can't even fix the reality of reality. So, yes, Bronny James is going to be the next clown, right? The NBA clown, what you would call a class clown. And that's all the NBA has. That's all the NBA has. They have, these guys that never lived up to the 2000s guys, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. And it's not hate, guys. It's the ratings that tell us that these guys haven't did it. It has nothing to do with championships per se, and stuff like this. It has to do with, and let me tell you something. LeBron James has been I don't want to say the wrong words, but he has destroyed the 2020s. You feel sorry for some of these guys. And you see Anthony Edwards, he has to put on this facade like a LeBron James and try to be this guy that he's not. He's trying to be this guy from from bad times and hard times. And his father is a professor, right? His father is a professor at a college. They asked him on this so-called, I don't know if it's real, but it's about, when they won the Game 5 the other day, he was supposedly outside the stadium walking around talking cash-ish. Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is all the NBA has to offer. Because guys back in the day, 2000s, I don't even think I would see this in the 2010s, but the 2000s, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s, whatever. You beat a team in a series, you couldn't do nothing like that, man. You couldn't do nothing like that. The coach won't let you. You will be in trouble. The organization will find you. It's not professional. The media would destroy you. Not even if you won an NBA championship. And they try to make this guy seem like he was walking the mean streets of LA giving out this speech. And I'm like, no, first of all, what we saw is wannabe bodyguards right next to him. But I was telling somebody, I was like, what you don't see is the whole camera view. Probably before he even took that stroll, they just planted some guys on the way for him to stroll to where he was going, right, to the hotel. I guess there's a hotel on the damn arena. I've never been there. That's what they're trying to say. But they had to clear the way. So they went outside and they blocked the path and said, you got to go. And they from one end to the other, they blocked the path so people couldn't get that way. It's probably the police, right? And then he started walking down that path, running his mouth, acting like this character that he always acts like, folks. This is what you got. This isn't professionalism. This isn't. And you beat nobody. You beat LeBron James. Yes, you beat Luka was on that team, but guess what? Luka beat you last year. Luka beat you last year. Luka beat you last year with less help. Remember, your team was loaded. I mean, you didn't have Julius Randle, but still, remember, you walked out. You walked out like a little punk after Luka beat you, right? You had a good team. You beat the Denver Nuggets. So, you didn't see Luka walking the streets. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is why people cannot get behind this guy. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to because he's not going to admit to this. But to me, that looks like a deep fake. They're getting good, man. I mean, the governments in Hollywood have been having these deep fakes forever. I couldn't put a finger on it, but, they're in the movie production business. So they've been working with deep fake for a long time, folks. A long damn time. ESPN works with deep fake all the time on First Take. And, I get spotted out on First Take like it ain't nothing. And they've been deep faking for years, as far as Stephen A. Smith being there, Molly, and who's it, Shannon Sharp, and they've been deep faking for years. But deep fake AR. People think that, all this stuff that just comes out like, oh yeah, here it is. No, the government's been having that for a long time. Like, they got this app, right? And they got your voice. You can sing on the app. And you kind of sound like, average, and you kind of suck or whatever like that. And then boom, you hit this button or these buttons and you upgrade your voice. And now you're sounding like a professional singer. You out there sounding like Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston, something like that. That's been out for decades. The music industry been having that for decades, folks. That ain't nothing new. It ain't nothing new. So they even said that on TV. They was doing a documentary on that. So I don't know if it's a deep fake or not, but if it is a deep fake, the guy need to come forward. Because if he don't come forward and it is real, I have no respect for him, man. To me, you're gonna, for you to pull off something like that, man, you're gonna have to win a championship now. I mean, because some people gonna be like, "Hey, man, what's wrong with it? Well, what did he do wrong, man? What did he do wrong?" Well, in this era, he didn't do nothing wrong. But in my era, you were humbled all the way to the end. That's sportsmanship. That's why what the Pistons did was garbage when they walked off the court like that. And then they try to put it on somebody else. Oh, this team walked off and blah, blah, blah. So the sportsmanship that Anthony Edwards, that he done acquired is a fine taste from LeBron James walking off the court, doing silly stuff, saying stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense. This is, remember, mostly it's the American players saying and doing stupid stuff. LeBron James, Anthony Edwards, Zion Williams, I think it's some more guys too. I can't remember the names, but it's, the international players have been classy and they don't want to be affiliated with the nonsense. But the media, they love this, the ESPNs and, the Fox Sports and stuff, because they don't have no on-court greatness to cover. So they love all this stupid stuff because that's all they can bring you is stupid coverage that doesn't make any sense. So, LeBron James, let me finish this real quick, because it ties into what we're talking about too. And I keep coming off the subject, but they got what they wanted. They got Bronny James to be the new clown show in the future, because we was talking about Bronny is going to be touted as carrying Luka. Oh, he carried Luka. Oh, he carried Luka. He outscored Luka. He played the defense that Luka didn't play. Why do you think they got Bronny James? You think this is just LeBron James got his son into the NBA and LeBron retires, it's over. Bronny James is trash. No, folks, this is the future script. The future script for the NBA. Luka and Bronny. Luka and Bronny is the new script. It don't matter if they're gonna win or if they're gonna lose. Okay, and they might get Luka somebody else. That's how it's gonna be. I don't think Luka really needs nobody else. I think they need to let LeBron James go. And that's what's so sad right there. They will go and deal Austin Reeves. And some of these other players like that. Well, clearly, if you got rid of LeBron James and you just kept Luka, hell, if you got rid of LeBron James, that's some money right there. You got money to work with. If this guy just moved on. So you would have Luka, you would have AR, you would have Rudy, Rory, and the rest of these guys. I think Jackson Hayes really can grow if LeBron James leaves. I was shocked because I said the Lakers were going to win this series. And to me, I thought the big reason was going to be because, Jackson Hayes was going to be able to give slow-footed Rudy Gobert fits. In most of these games in the series, Rudy was able to do nothing, and Jackson Hayes wasn't even on the court, folks. And I think what it was, they didn't want Jackson Hayes in that middle. They wanted that lane to be as wide open as they could get it. Right? So they wanted, Jackson Hayes. I don't know, man. That's all I can think of. They didn't want Jackson Hayes in that middle, which really killed him at the end of the day on the rebounds. It made him look stupid. And you could have been doing, alley-oops to Jackson Hayes. Remember, Luka was doing alley-oops with all these guys last year in the playoffs in Dallas. Easy. And look at his standard, man. LeBron James wasn't able to take Luka to the NBA Finals, but Kyrie was. Wow, that's nuts. That's nuts. And how better was that team really? That the Mavs were on. LeBron James supposed to be better than Kyrie. They don't have nobody like no Austin Reeves on that Mavs team. Nope. As a role player, they don't have no shooter like that last year. So what it comes down to a lot of times, and I don't know how many times I done repeated this, but LeBron James ain't going to no NBA finals. He wasn't ever going back to the NBA finals when he was 3-7. The opportunity came there because of the bubble. Remember, nobody wanted to play. He was the one that was leading the efforts by Clutch Sports to play in the Disney bubble. To play against, make-believe fans on a make-believe NBA court. That was LeBron James pushing that. To play against no competition and win that ring against the Heat. Went the Heat like an 8 seed or something like that? What was it, 6? Something, I forget what it was. And I was just saying, you got to look at Curry's 4th ring. He beat the Celtics. Curry beat the Celtics. I mean, I know it's not the same Celtics as last year, but I mean, Jaylen Brown's supposed to be a superstar, right? Seen that contract he just signed? What was it, last year, a couple years ago? Highest contract in the NBA, and then you got Tatum. I mean, he beat some superstars, man, without Kevin Durant. So after the game, LeBron James didn't come to the post, to the presser, saying he was hurt. And, I don't think he would say that because, that will blow up fast. So, he let the media put this out. Ain't that crazy? He let the media put this out. He let the media put this out. And look how it came, right? They got Austin Reeves basically got crucified the last 2 days. And JJ Redick got crucified to a certain extent. And then the MCL report comes out. Wow, right on time. So if Luka was in shape, if he wasn't slow, and didn't have a body like a 40-year-old, the media says, which I don't know what that means. So what's the body of a 40-year-old? So all 40-year-olds got bodies like Luka? I don't know. I mean, I don't think is there 40-year-olds that could play NBA in the NBA? Just your regular 40-year-old, since they're saying 40-year-old, right? Could your regular 40-year-old play in the NBA and have that type of stamina? I really don't think so. I don't think so. This guy's running up and down the court and having the stamina and playing in the NBA? What? I don't know. If they're trying to say a 40-year-old's body is bad, then he don't look like a 40-year-old to me. But anyways, when I was 40 years old, I had a nice body. And I still do. But I don't know what he's getting at, because I see people that's like 16, 17, 25, 32, bad body as hell. So I don't know what that means. I'm trying to be funny. And then I see people at 40 years old with bad bodies too. But you can't put an age on something. That's ridiculous. Yeah, so that all just came in time, right? They destroyed Luka. Who else they destroyed? They were trying to destroy Hachimura, earlier in the season? Last year they destroyed AD. If I'm not mistaken, I think they destroyed D'Angelo Russell, but he ended up having, a couple good games, so they didn't really blame him at the end of the day. Who did they scapegoat last year? We know LeBron James ended up having an injury, but yeah, I think it was Anthony Davis. He didn't play up to the standards, right? And then the year before that, Anthony Davis didn't play up to the standards, right? See, he was playing Joker. Who was LeBron playing? What all-time great player was LeBron playing against and had to defend? And was going against him. So AD had his hands full. He had to play defense, rebound, and put up points. And sometimes get the hell out of the paint so LeBron James could drive. We heard Schroeder one year. Hell, what was it? The first year they lost to the Nuggets in 23. They tried to, blame Schroeder. And I think last year, this past offseason, they was talking about getting Schroeder back. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't this fake Rondo dude win the FIBA? I had to go check it out. I thought he won the FIBA over the fake Michael Jordan, Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Brunson. These are some like soft suburban names, man. Jalen. I ain't going to Jalen, man. I'm trying to tell you, I never knew anybody named Jalen back in the day, unless they lived in the rich part of the neighborhood, Jalen. Okay, whatever. Oh, let's say something about the Knicks real quick. The Knicks, they should have just bowed out. They should have just, went to game 7, bowed out. They're getting swept. They're getting swept in the next round. Swept. It's going to be a sweep. Because all they can do is play offense. And they're lucky they won that game because, Detroit just don't have enough offense. They don't have it. Okay? But, New York can't play a lick of defense. And they're going to get swept in that next round. Sorry to say that. They brought Cat over there. He don't play defense. This dude is sorry. He's so lucky that Jalen woke up. He better be giving Jalen some money or something, because they would have crucified him if they would have lost in that first round. No, I know they had one more game to go, but if they would have lost in that first round, they would have crucified Karl Anthony Towns. Oh boy, did this dude escape a hot one. Woo! We talking about, oh, Karl Anthony Towns supposed to be one of the greatest shooters of all time, but Jalen Brunson out there busted him. Let me tell you this. So they got rid of, who they got rid of? They got rid of Julius Randle, Hartenstein, and DiVincenzo? And guess what? They're still playing on a high level. Hell, they have a chance. Well, no, they don't. They both can't go to the finals because OKC would have to meet the Timberwolves. But still, they gave away those players for a Cat. And I'm trying to tell you, man, some of the players from New York, man, sometimes they'll be looking good, and then sometimes they just won't show up. So yeah, this is an instant replay with ESPN, and I told you about ESPN in the past. All they can do is lie. And what do they call this? What do they call this on social media? This is trigger. Say a whole bunch of stupid stuff that doesn't make any sense, that no sports analyst would even say. This is how bad the NBA has gotten. I mean, sometimes I'm just at a loss for words with this stuff, man. And you're going to say, what? No, it's a lot of stuff that I want to say, but I just keep, it's just mind-blowing. None of this makes any sense. They're basically telling us this guy needs another chance to play because our league sucks that bad. Our league sucks that bad that this guy needs another year to play because we won't have nothing else to talk about. We got to start our script over. We don't want that. What? How about get the hell out of the league, LeBron, so we can start hyping up somebody else for the future? Unless they're telling us this is the end of the world soon. I mean, like, it might be. It might be. Who knows? The way stuff is going out here. But what I can tell you is, let's see whose bandwagon they jump on. Because they have an opportunity to have a good storyline if Denver pulls this out. I ain't gonna say too much about the game last night with Denver and OKC. I'm gonna just let it play out. All I'm gonna say is that was a closeout game for Joker, and he should have carried his teammates on his back in the closeout game. He should have put up 45, 15 rebounds, and I won't give a damn who got the assist. What happened to Joker, man? This guy sometimes is taking less and less shots. Is this guy getting tired? I'm just saying. Maybe he don't want to play OKC. Maybe he don't want to play OKC. But we already know if OKC plays the Clippers, that might be a sweep. I'm just saying. But anyways, the media has a chance to have a good storyline. And again, it depends on if Denver wins and they're able to play OKC. Now, it's a storyline, but it can go real sideways real fast. And ESPN is starting to be racist. But it's funny to me, when Joker won his championship, this was the greatest player of all time. Nobody can do what Joker did. It's going to be back to back. Joker for years. Joker for years. Season starts up the next season. It's all about LeBron James again. You really ain't heard nothing about Joker from ESPN in these playoffs. It's all about LeBron James. It's all about LeBron James. I'm just saying. Now they obviously they're going to make it about Anthony Edwards, and this guy has, I'm not even saying he got to win the championship, but as much trash as he's talking, it's almost like he's the man. He's the anointed man, and I don't know if you really want that. He didn't have a great game 5. I think he had, a bad game 2. So I don't know, man. All this front running, to me, I'm gonna tell you what. If Joker is this great, like people say he is, this will be one of the greatest runs of all time. He will beat Kawhi, and he will beat James Harden. He'll beat LeBron James and Luka. And then he'd pull up on Shea and beat Shea. No. You know what I just did? I mixed Anthony Edwards. We could do it that way too. I'm talking about Joker. So, because I said Luka and LeBron. So again, you beat Harden, Kawhi, and then you go beat Shea, the MVP. And I don't know who will be in the way. I just don't know who will be in the Western Conference Finals. It could be Anthony Edwards. And who are they playing? Who are they playing again? I don't even know who they're playing. They play the Rockets, Warriors. So, to me the Warriors are going to close that out. But, and then you go beat the Warriors, which means you will beat Curry. And Jimmy Butler, who's probably going to be a Hall of Famer. So, that's what I'm saying. So let's rewind it. Joker, if this would be historic right here, it would be something that, maybe, what's his name? Hakeem did that year when he won the finals. So you would have James Harden, Kawhi, and then you play OKC next, and you would beat Shea, which would be the MVP. And then, like I said, you would be, it depends on who wins that series. Either you would beat Curry and Jimmy Butler, or you would beat the fake next Michael Jordan. Now, if you was to do that, it ain't over yet. And then you was able to go to the NBA Finals, and apparently you're going to play the Cavs, or you're going to play the Celtics. Now, I got a different temperament on the whole thing. Where would he be versus beating who? Joker. Man. See, I still couldn't. If he beat the Cavs, I still couldn't put him in my top 10. I just couldn't. I'm looking at the whole body of work, man. But if he beat the Celtics, I would put him in my top 10, no doubt. Because you guys already know LeBron James ain't in my top 10. And I kind of like. It's a wiggle room on who took LeBron's place, right? It could be Curry, or somebody else could come in and replace Curry. But if he railed that off, like I just said, and he beat the Celtics, yeah, I would have to put him in my top 10. No doubt. No doubt. Now, that would be maybe the greatest historic season of all time, or playoff run. No doubt. See, and these are the things that, Joker fans should be concentrating on. For him to be in that top 10, for him to be one of the greatest of all times, in the top, whatever. Not stats. Now, Anthony Edwards, he beat LeBron James. He beats Luka. And, the next round, I guess he's playing, to me, I think he will play the Warriors. So if he beat Jimmy Butler and he beat Curry, you would have, I don't know, like I said, it depends who wins that, goes to the Western Conference Finals, who you would have to play. You have to play either Joker or we have to play SGA. I would say it kind of don't matter, but it kind of does matter. This is supposed to be Joker, right? SGA really hasn't proven nothing. This is going to be his first MVP, even though this will be an MVP winner that, he would beat. And they beat the team with the best record this year. I don't know, man. To me, I think it would be bigger that he beat Joker in the Western Conference Final, because Joker is a 3-time MVP, a champion in some people's eyes, top 5 and all this nonsense. But to me, it would be more important that he beat Joker. Now, in the finals, I think he would face this same situation that Joker would face too. Either you would go against the Celtics or you would go against the Cavs. Of course, the more impressive win will be against the Celtics. Now, again, you have Tatum over there, and then you have Jaylen Brown, another Jaylen. That would be more impressive, that win right there. And I don't know, that will put him in another stratosphere. Of course, that won't put him top 10. He needs more, but he will be on his way. You know his status. His status will be number 1 in the league going into the rankings next year. Coming into the seasons, he will be ranked number 1. He will be ranked number 1. Anthony Edwards will be, if he could pull that off. Okay, but that's a long shot. It's a long shot. It looks like OKC, they're on some kind of mission, right? They're about business. They're not walking around. You ain't gonna see SGA walking around, somebody else's arena talking ish, or just talking ish, period. These are real winners, the ones who are more humble, because they want to win more. And Joker is humble. SGA, humble. And that's why I don't see Anthony Edwards being able to pull that off this year. A lot of legacies is I won't say on the line, but they're being tested to see where they should be placed at as an all-time great basketball player. Do they want to win, or are they just out there playing for the money? If Joker puts up another game like he put up last night, let me tell you what. I mean, because it was basically a team effort from the Clippers. Now, let me see something real quick, because I don't want to, say the wrong thing right here and mess this all up. I just want to make sure this is correct. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was about to mess it up. Joker took 22 shots, 11 for 22, 2 for 4 from 3, 25 points, and this is what you don't want, folks. I will live with it if Joker gets 25 points. I'm cool with it, man. 25 points, but he took 22 shots. He took 22 shots, and he played the second most minutes, I think. And he just beat out Jamal Murray for points. He had 4 turnovers. 3 steals. Always has more steals than blocks. Always. He did have 1 block though. There's some games he don't have any blocks. And I know everything's pulled out, but still, man. What's the excuse when Zubac be having like 2-3 blocks a game? Well, the difference is Zubac ain't out there trying to waste his energy on a sit. So this is what I'm gonna say. As much as I told you this all-time great season he can have, this is what I'm gonna say. Joker, if they end up losing Game 7, which is going to be, I think it's tomorrow if I ain't mistaken. It might not be tomorrow. They might try to put that thing all the way on Sunday. You know how they work, man. Because they want everybody to, to see the game. So, let me see. Huh? Let me see. Yep, I told you. Hold on now. No, it can't be. They're not even playing on Sunday. What? Oh, I was about to say, I didn't see it on Saturday. Yes, they do play. They do play tomorrow at 7:30. Now, I won't be home to watch the beginning of that game because I'm gonna be out and about. I don't even know if I'm gonna be out. Well, 7:30. Hopefully the game starts at 8. The NBA is so full of ish. Sometimes the game was. They say 8 o'clock. A lot of times the game just started like 8:30. And I'm not talking about because another game was on. I'm talking about they'll literally start the game at 8:30 when they say 8. And then sometimes when they say 8, it'll start at 8. It's so ridiculous. It don't make no sense. Is you stupid? People crazy, man. But this is what it is, folks. This is what it is, and I'm holding this guy to a standard. I don't know what kind of standard you guys are holding this guy to, Joker, but this is what's gonna happen. If they don't win that game 7, and I look down and Joker has under 30 points, has a 20-point triple-double, this is on him. I don't need no triple-doubles. I need this guy to go out, and put up 40 points, 45, 40, whatever, in a win. 15 boards, 12 boards, whatever like that. But I better not see that they lose if this guy scores under 30 points. I don't give a damn if Jamal Murray and the rest of the start lineup. This guy had 11. This guy had 10. This guy had 7. This guy had 4. I could care less. Last night, this guy had 25 unacceptable points. That's unacceptable. In the close, you close it out, you let's go. You get some rest. Okay, how long OKC been on vacation, man? Let me see when the Timberwolves play. Ooh, they get some time off. Oh, the Pacers and the Cavs play game 1 on Sunday. And the Rockets and Warriors play Sunday. What game is this? Hold on, wait. So they're giving them that many days off? Oh no, they play. Hold on. They play tonight, my fault. They play game, wow. They play game 6 tonight. This is crazy, man. And they play game 7 Sunday, if it's a game 7. So Monday, what the hell? Monday, the Celtics and the Knicks play all by themselves. So where's the Timberwolves? The Pacers already played game 2 by themselves on Tuesday. This is Wednesday. The Knicks and the Celtics play all by themselves. Well, I mean, what the hell is this? A Western Conference Finals? And the Eastern Conference Finals? There's no game Thursday. Friday. Which will be the 9th. This is the 3rd game. The Cavs and the Pacers. 3rd game. So where's the Timberwolves? I don't get it. Let's try to rewind this because they're not even showing no Timberwolves. What? Don't make no sense, man. Look at the big schedule. Well, I guess they're not showing it because they don't know who they play between the Houston Rockets and the Warriors, so they're not showing the schedule because they got to determine who's going to play at home and who's not. But again, for me, for Joker, I don't want to see under 25 points and they lose, or under 30 points and they lose. You talking dumb. So tell me what you think.